race today marks exactly 20 years since Danielle Imbo and Richard Petrone Jr. disappeared in Philadelphia. The two were dating back in 2005 when they left a bar on South Street. Today, we wanted to get an update on this cold case.
And NBC 10 investigative reporter Claudia Vargas has been looking into this case. She joins us live from South Philadelphia, where Danielle and Richard were last seen. Claudia?
Yeah, Johnny, well, this restaurant and lounge used to be a bar named Abilene's. It's where Richard Petrone Jr. and Danielle Imbo were last seen here on the night of February 19th, 2005. Where they went next remains a mystery, but law enforcement believe foul play was involved. On the evening of February 20th, 2005, the Mount Laurel Police Department received a call about a missing resident. Danielle Imbo's family was concerned about the 34-year-old mom's whereabouts.
She went missing, or she was last seen anyway, with her boyfriend at the time. They were out at a restaurant or a bar over in Philly. Around the same time, Philadelphia Police South detectives were receiving a similar call about Danielle's companion, Richard Petrone Jr. He also never made it home that Saturday night.
About 11:30, 11:45, they left Abilene's bar, and that was the last they were reportedly seen. They both disappeared along with Richard Petrone's Dodge Dakota pickup truck.
Richard and Danielle were South Jersey high school friends who had been dating on and off in the months leading up to their disappearance. Danielle had a 1-year-old son with her then ex-husband. Richard had a 14-year-old daughter from a previous marriage.
He was a hardworking guy with a lot of friends, outgoing, just a typical South Philly dude. Danielle, same thing. Hardworking, liked to have fun, but nothing nefarious in either one of their backgrounds. Or their families, for that matter.
Retired FBI agent Vito Roselli says Mount Laurel Police and PPD's South detectives quickly realized something was wrong.
Trying to track down last known locations, what they were supposed to, who they were supposed to be meeting. They checked their bank accounts, their phones, their phone records.
Roselli eventually took the lead in the case. He says early on, law enforcement received an interesting tip.
A murder for hire on behalf of the LCN.
The LCN is La Cosa Nostra, the Italian mafia, in this case, out of New York.
There was enough meat on that allegation for us to get proactively involved.
Roselli says investigators weren't able to move that lead any further, but it was not discarded. A murder for hire scheme is still a possibility.
Who would want to have them killed if that is indeed the...
That's my big challenge. That was the whole challenge with this, investigation. I wish I could figure that out.
Roselli tells us similar tips came in over the years saying that a Camden drug gang had something to do with it, the Pagan motorcycle gang, or ruthless Fishtown drug dealer.
Statistically, it's the estranged husband, so we did a very deep dive into him and his family.
That, too, didn't bear anything of significance. The problem with this case is the lack of physical or video evidence. Richard had told his friends at the bar that he was parked nearby, but police never found his black pickup truck or any evidence of a struggle or break-in, such as broken glass or dropped personal items.
You have 2 bodies missing, you got a truck missing. No crime scene.
Roselli doesn't think their disappearance was an accident.
Combing the Delaware River and the different bodies of water, and we don't find that truck. Not impossible, but highly unlikely.
A volunteer search group looked for the pickup truck in 2022 in the Schuylkill River, but came up short. Now, 20 years after the couple's disappearance, Roselli is still hoping for the one tip that will crack the case.
Hopefully somebody has a pang of conscience or, finally feels free to come forward and say something.
Yeah. And the FBI did tell us today that there's still a $15,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction in this case. The Philadelphia Police Department declined a request for an interview, as did Danielle's ex-husband. We did not hear back from Richard or Danielle's immediate families.